So if anything came out of Sony's State of Play just a few weeks back, it's definitely that Sony's PlayStation VR has a really bright future ahead of it, and it's only going up from here. We're in 2019 now, the headset's about 2.5 years old, and while a lot of people would say it's the Vita 2, Sony's just dipping their toes in, they've really just shown their commitment to this headset peripheral. It's becoming its own thing really, it's standing on its own legs, it's getting its own exclusives, and heck, even at the State of Play event as we saw, it's, showing a name for itself with how many titles it's getting. We got Marvel's Iron Man here, we got Blood and Truth exclusives. Just, yeah man, Sony's PSVR is selling well and for a good reason. I've had PlayStation VR since launch back in October 2016 and that feeling just hasn't gone away. Just playing VR is really exciting and it's just something that hasn't really gotten that feeling away. Playing Beat Saber the other day, it feels just like I put on the headset back in like launch day of playing Res Infinite or Batman Arkham VR. There's just so many great titles for it, and I guess the thing that helps it sell well, because yeah, Sony's PlayStation VR has been selling well for the past 2.5 years. I believe we're at like 4.1 million as Shuhei tweeted, but yeah, it's just a testament to how much support this headset has. I guess it has like the sweet spot of like good VR, but also letting it be something that's really easy to get into if you just own a PS4. Obviously, a lot of people have PS4s in the living room. Living room is like where you want to play VR. I feel like a lot of people that have like high-end PCs don't really have like a big space next to it. And not to mention, obviously like spending $1,000 on a computer is definitely not a lot of people's, situation in life right now. And yeah, I guess Sony's PSVR is just playing it safe. We got good titles, we got a good way to come in, and Concrete Genie is supposed to have 2 PSVR modes, which is pretty exciting. Beat Saber is getting free updates every single month or so. We're getting a free song or some kind of DLC pack. They've been knocking it out of the park in terms of games exclusives. I've been playing through Astrobot VR lately, and that game is just really fun. I believe it has like a 90 on Metacritic. Like, it's definitely one of the best games I've played in VR. It's really fun and really adorable and also just really relaxing and really uses VR right. Blood and Truth is coming out here in about a month and a half, and that one definitely looks really good. If you guys saw the London Heist demo back at launch for PSVR, this is pretty much taking that concept and kind of the mechanics of that game, but fleshing it out a bit more, making it a bigger game. That game's looking really good. No Man's Sky VR is definitely like the dream title for a lot of people, including myself. Just, yeah, it's a full game in VR, it's space exploration. People have been dying to play it for like years and have it as a reality, and they're making it. And Marvel's Iron Man, like, there's been really good impressions of it coming out in the past few days here, and people are saying it's like showing off what Sony's PSVR can do, and it's like apparently like one of the most impressive games they've made so far, and it is actually like a big game. Like, Sony is collaborating with Marvel just like they did with Marvel Spider-Man, and actually are like, making this like a full title. Apparently it's supposed to be like 8 to 10 hours long. It's supposed to be really good. The trailer made it seem like it was like an on-rails shooter, but it actually is having some depth to it. Like, yeah, you have full control whether you want to fly, whether you want to hover in the air, shoot. Like, you are Iron Man, apparently. Like, it's supposed to be actually really good. Apparently the full game's going to even have like multiple combat moves that you can have, and yeah, it's not just going to be like a simple demo where you're just on an on-rails shooter playing as Iron Man, just pressing a trigger. Yeah, it's supposed to have like customization, it's supposed to be having some, quite a few missions if it's going to be 8 to 10 hours long. Yeah, just so many quality titles, which is just speaking to the fact that PSVR has a future. This is only Gen 1, and it's only going to get exciting from here. I feel like if you're looking at PSVR and you want to cop it, I feel like there's no reason not to cop it if you could find a good deal for a bundle. There's so many titles we're playing. Yes, there is the case that PSVR 2 could be coming out with the PS5, but if I'm being honest, I feel like Sony would only kill the headset if they launched it alongside the PS5. There's probably going to at least be a year or two after the PS5 where we're finally going to see that introduced. Of course, they might tease it saying that they have something working on for PSVR 2 for the headset, but yeah, maybe the games carry over. I mean, that's realistic of like a issue that you might have, but I feel like there's too many reasons to own PSVR at the moment. Like, last fall we got Tetris Effect, we got Astrobot VR, Beat Saber. Super Hot is one of the games that came out last year. That is definitely one of my favorites. That game is just really fun and really insane, and I really like Super Hot in general, but playing in VR makes it really feel different. It makes it feel like it's a game that was made in VR, and yeah, you just gotta play it to understand. Like, it's just, VR is just one of those topics where it's just really fun to talk about and just get all giddy because it is something new to our medium. Devs are so out there talking about how developing for VR is so much newer. You're not just developing games for a screen, and you're constantly pushing the medium because they're just testing things out right now, and it's a very exciting time, Yeah, man, PSVR obviously has a future ahead of it. Sony's really committed to it. The sales are also backing it up, and hopefully in the future, you know, PSVR 2 will just work on the problems. I know my main problem, I'd say, with PSVR at the moment is just the fact that there's a wired cable. Like, yeah, if we can get rid of the wires, that would just add to the immersion that you get with it. Obviously, resolution and stuff is going to be kind of obvious as a jump to a next generation console. You can expect that. Developers are obviously going to get more used to VR, push the limits a little bit more, and figure out what in VR works. It's just a very exciting time. There's so many good titles. Resident Evil 7 is fully playable in VR, which is something I have not yet played, which, yeah, it's still on the bucket list to eventually do play if I don't know, man, that's a fucking... Resident Evil 7 in VR sounds like a nightmare, but also really fun. But yeah, I'm really interested in hearing what you guys think about Sony's PSVR. Like, here in the summer, we have so many titles to look forward to, and just Sony's commitment to it is really exciting. And yeah, it's honestly what I'm looking forward to the most going into next generation, because it is new. It's something that you don't really know. I know in PS5, we're not going to get every single game to hit 60 FPS as much people like. Obviously, that's up to the developer and what they want to focus on. But of course, like, things like resolution and stuff is kind of, you know, kind of obvious with any jump in any technology. But yeah, VR is kind of like the most interesting one, because it is a new piece of tech, a new piece of hardware, how they're going to make the hardware more accessible to people. I feel like that's definitely the biggest point right now, that you see Oculus working with Oculus Quest, making it all in one device. Seeing how Sony responds will be pretty cool. Obviously, you know, developers are just going to keep pushing out games. I feel like that's what's selling PSVR, is just the sheer amount of exclusives and just the gateway into it's not that bad. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about PSVR. I know there's a lot of backlash to the state of play, which kind of shows how people view VR right now is just something that a lot of people just don't own. I mean, the whole reaction to state of play was just the fact that it was VR sided more, so I don't feel like people have a problem with PSVR. And yeah, man, that state of play definitely proved that the support is here and just it has a future, and it's just so fun to be able to have VR and just know that it's going to continue getting the support it needs. And yeah, it's very exciting times. So I guess leave your comments down below. Do you guys have PSVR? Are you guys interested in it? I could recommend some games. Beat Saber, Super Hot, Astrobot, Moss, Tetris Effect, those kind of games are really good. And yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of guides. Reddit r/PSVR is like really active. And yeah, exciting times ahead. Of course, leave your comments down below, of course, as usual. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.